Good afternoon and welcome to the special called City Commission meeting for July 15th, 2025. If you would, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we have a call for attendance, please?
Commissioner Pruitt.
Here.
Commissioner Witt.
Here.
Commissioner Hargis. Here. Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
Mayor Staten.
Here. First up on the agenda, we'll turn it over to Dylan. We have recognition of some new employees.
Yes, if I can invite Mr. Tim Clayton up to the podium, please.
Afternoon. I've got Gavin Donetta here with me. He came to us from probably about 9 or 10 months at the water utility, and he worked seasonal for them, and we hired him full-time before they did. So we're happy to have him with us, and I think he was in high school before he started at the water utility. So
Right after.
Awesome. So what is it like having two major utilities compete for your services?
It's not really any competition. I mean, I'd rather work for the gas department in the first place.
That's a good answer right there.
right answer.
Well, Tim's a great guy. I think you're going to have a good time. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, and next up, if I could invite Chief Bowen to the podium, please, and we have a few new police officers.
All righty, we have four new officers we hired in last week. We're glad to have all of them. So first we got Christian Fowler to the far right. He comes to us from Madisonville. Then we have Isaac Gaston. He's also from Madisonville. Donovan Lewis is local here from Henderson. And then Nathan Shattuck, originally from Vermont, but now lives down in Bremen. So I think wife brought you to Kentucky, is that?
Yes, sir.
So anyway, we're glad to have all of them and think they're going to do a good job for us.
All right. So tell us more about the attire for today. Did you guys call each other and
that
say
would be
what you're
James
wearing?
Jarbo. I think he's, or Bill Russell, one of them got them all decked out. Which one got you decked out
sure,
today?
guys.
Technically it's both. Bill Russell.
Okay, yeah.
So what's the biggest reason you all decided to come work for the police department?
Location for me, I'd say.
Yeah. What about you guys?
To serve the community, to be in outreach for people around here in this area, as well as I believe it's a really good career to go into, being our current military and then going into this. I think it'll put two and two together.
Well, Chief Bowen has got things kind of humming at the police department right now. So you guys you came along at a good time. You got a good police chief, you got a good department to work for, and we really care about what you guys do for us in the community. So thank you guys very much for doing what you're doing and for being willing to serve in this capacity in Henderson. We really do appreciate it.
Welcome. Happy to have you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Very well.
And then next up, is Mr. Brian Williams. We have a new worker in municipal facilities.
I want to introduce you to Bryce Nunley. He's our new municipal facilities worker 3. He's young looking, but he comes with a lot of experience and a lot of certifications. We were fortunate to get him from one of the local contractors here in town. So I don't know that they were really happy to lose him, but we were certainly glad to get him.
So biggest thing that brought you to the city?
I just became a father actually in June.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's just more of a family-friendly schedule, and the benefits and everything going forward as make my family.
That's one of the most overlooked things. People look at the salary number, and a lot of times they don't look at the insurance.
Of course.
And we have some of the most competitive, if not the best benefits package of any city in the state of Kentucky. We appreciate you coming for that and for other reasons too. I thought for a second you were going to say you took them from the water department. But congratulations, welcome. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, and last but not least, we have Mr. Thomas Kinney. If you want to come on up to the podium. Buzzy, do you want to introduce Thomas as the acting Parks Director?
Now I'm in trouble.
He's made it 2 days. And hadn't left. Thomas
still here.
Kenny from Texas. Want to say that he has hit the ground running. I don't even think you've been to your office yet.
I know where it is. That's about it.
But Thomas is already moved to Henderson. He's brought his wife and family with him. She's now employed by our local school board
Oh, wow.
as a teacher, and this guy's really friendly. So when he tells you he's really about people, he really is, and he walks the walk and talks the talk. But we're glad to have you here, and look forward to a long-term relationship.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's almost yours. Tell me when you want it.
It's all good.
So Thomas, you have ties to Kentucky. You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
About the what now?
Your ties to Kentucky.
Ties to Kentucky. So, I got to tell everybody else, I'm a nomad, I guess. So, I was born in North Carolina in Fort Bragg. My father was in the Army. But my ties to Kentucky are I graduated from Western Kentucky University. So, I went to Campbellsville for my first 2 years. Met my wife through her sister that worked there, or that lived there. And then moved to Western Kentucky University to be able to finish out my degree in Parks and Recreation. So, my wife is actually from Scottsville, Kentucky, which is right outside of Bowling Green. So that's where, we got a lot of family in this area, and I've lived in Tennessee before too. So I've kind of lived all over the world. So I'm kind of like a nomad, but we're looking for somewhere to call home. And we like Kentucky, and this was right on the Ohio River, and I have some friends that live here that are from Henderson, so that I went to school with, and brought my wife down here, and she fell in love with it as well. So we in the middle of buying a house and getting the kids involved, and kind of going from there and hitting the ground running. So I'm in a hotel right now, but eventually we'll be in a house here in a couple weeks. If I get all the questions answered they need from that type of stuff.
Well, welcome home.
Thank you.
We appreciate having you, and from all accounts, I've talked to a lot of people who were involved in the interview process. A lot of glowing remarks about you, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do with our Parks Department.
Yes, sir. So I appreciate y'all setting up, having a get-together today for the 1 to 3. We had lots of different community partners and people come in, and I got to meet people from the chamber and library and other, and YMCA and stuff like that. So that was great to be able to find out how we can partner together and work together to be able to create more of a wholesome environment in the community, and not have to, fight with what we got. There's only so much money, so let's work together to be able to make the community better. So that's what we're looking forward to. So I'm excited about that. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, next up, we have a consent agenda.
The consent agenda contains the minutes of the June 24th, 2025 regular meeting and the June 27th, 2025 special called meeting. Resolution number 54-25, a resolution approving human resources report dated July 15th, 2025. Resolution number 55-25, a resolution approving city attorney and annual evaluation salary adjustment. And then resolutions numbers 56 through 77, approving agreements for the United Way funding recommended agency funding with the following agencies: Henderson Audubon Area Community Senior Services for $1,500, Cliff Hagen Boys and Girls Club Incorporated for $7,500, Green River Regional Rape Victim Services doing business as New Beginnings for $4,000, Henderson Area Arts Alliance for $4,500, Henderson Christian Community Outreach for $15,000, Henderson County Family YMCA for $5,000, Henderson Kentucky Education Foundation for $5,000, Involvement Incorporated for $1,500, Junior Achievement of West Kentucky for $2,500, New Hope Animal Rescue for $3,000, Ohio Valley Arts League for $1,000, Owensboro Area Shelter Information and Services Incorporated, OASIS, for $6,500, River Valley Behavioral Health, the Port Riverview Youth Drop-In Center for $15,000, Riverview School for $4,000, St. Anthony's Hospice for $10,000, The Gathering Place, Henderson County Senior Citizen Center for $15,000, Salvation Army for $10,000, Volunteer and Information Center for $1,000, Bluegrass in the Park Folk Life Festival for $7,500, Henderson Songfest Incorporated doing business as Sandy Lee Songfest for $6,000, Sons of Henderson for $3,000, Henderson Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Downtown Henderson Partnership Committee, the Juneteenth celebration event for $1,500, and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreements. And then also municipal order number 51-25, municipal order accepting a memorandum of understanding between the City of Henderson and Henderson Community College, Kentucky Community and Technical College System for the assignment of a Henderson Police Department officer to the campus and authorizing the mayor to execute said agreement on behalf of the city.
Before we have a motion and a second, are there any items that any commissioner would like to pull off of the consent agenda for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
And do we have a second?
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending some bonds.
Ordinance number 24-25, an ordinance of the City of Henderson, Kentucky, amending the definition of project, and ordinance number 29-23 of the city dated October 24th, 2023, and ordinance number 46-24 of the city dated October 1st, 2024, to permit the proceeds of the city's general obligation bonds, Series 2023B, and general obligation bond, Series 2024A, to be spent for costs of additional public projects.
Do we have a motion to approve, please? Do we have a second?
Second.
And I believe we have Mark Franklin joining us. Is you on with us, Mark?
I am, yes.
All right. Do you mind to tell us a little bit more about what we're looking at, please?
This ordinance is very similar to one the city adopted very recently. In talking with Dawn and Chelsea, it determined that the proceeds for the 2023 bond, 2023B bond issue have been fully spent, but thankfully the city has some investment proceeds that were earned that need to be spent as well. And then there's some proceeds that might be remaining in the 2024A bonds. Chelsea thought it would be helpful to be able to spend those proceeds on some HVAC improvements for some of the city facilities. Those specific uses were not authorized by the original bond ordinances that were adopted by the city for those two issues. It's not a problem to expend the proceeds for the additional use for the HVAC improvements, but it was my recommendation just to make sure everything's on the up and up that we authorized it by ordinance, similar to the way we authorized the original uses for the bonds when they were both authorized and approved by the city. So that's the purpose for the ordinance, just to make sure everything's documented and approved on the city side before any additional uses would be undertaken.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody have any questions for Mark while we've got him on the line? It looks like it's pretty straightforward, but does anybody have any questions? Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We do have a motion and a second. Any other questions, comments, suggestions? Take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance accepting public improvements at Audubon Street.
Ordinance number 25-25, ordinance accepting public improvements. An ordinance accepting public improvements consisting of sidewalks on Audubon Street.
Take a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Take a second.
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions, or suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order accepting a proposal for construction assistance.
Municipal order number 52-25, municipal order accepting proposal for construction assistance, construction inspection services by Palmer Engineering of Winchester, Kentucky for Wathen Lane Widening Project 02-382 in the amount of $355,397, and authorizing the mayor to execute the acceptance on behalf of the city of Henderson.
Before we get a motion, Buzzy, you want to tell us a little bit more about what we're looking at, please?
I will. As y'all are aware, Watson Lane widening project has gone beyond the targeted completion date of December 16th of 2024. And since that time, the contractor has been under a $700 per calendar day penalty for not being done. However, since they have gone beyond that time and the construction work is continuing, we are required by the Federal Highway Administration and KYTC to have a full-time on-site inspector. And what's before you today is the proposal to amend the agreement with Palmer Engineering to continue those services since the December 16, 2024 date.
Thank you, sir. And still, before we get a motion, I'd like to make a comment regarding this specific item on the agenda. So this is, as Buzzy had said, $355,000 for additional services. We would owe 20% of that, or around $70,000. Now, the problem that I have with this being on the agenda is that this is for inspection services that are not not the fault of the city of Henderson. This is for inspection services that are directly needed as a result of this project running over. And this project ran over from December through now about mid-August is about the estimated completion time. And now we're getting hit with a bill. They have inspection. They need to get paid. But I do not feel like the city of Henderson owes this money. I feel as if the contractor owes this money to the inspector. I do not feel like this is the city's responsibility to pay for this item. And so what I would like to do or entertain from the commission, unless there are any different thoughts, is I'd like to table this item and allow for our assistant city manager or our city manager, or both, a collection of both, to look into it further to see what our legal recourse is, because I don't want to lock us into paying $70,000 that I don't feel like is on our plate. Does anybody else have any, Dawn, am I allowed before a motion to take any additional comments? Okay, let's go ahead and have a motion to table this. Can I get a motion to table this, please?
I move that we table this.
Can I get a second? Second. Okay. Do we have any other questions or comments before we move through with tabling this specific?
So we're making $700 a day.
We are, which works out to be roughly our cut, about $32,000. So in liquidated damages, we will receive roughly $32,000 if the project is complete by the middle of August, because we only get 20%. So it's $700 a day, works out to be about $150,000, 20%, that's about 30, give or take a few $1,000s there. So we're going to get 30-something $1,000, and if we applied all of that money toward it, we still owe almost 40 for these inspection services. A good question. Any other questions or comments regarding this particular item?
So where's this money going? To the state?
This money would be going directly to Palmer to pay for their additional inspection services. And it's not going to hold, if we table it, it will not hold up the project. It will not hold up them getting paid in a timely manner. It'll only allow us to look into what our legal recourse is or who's responsible for paying this money. And it may come back that because of state rules that we have to pay it. But I at least want to look into it because it doesn't feel, to me, it doesn't feel right that we would be approving this to pay for inspection costs that were not due to the city of Henderson's fault.
Didn't seem right at all. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to table. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye, thank you. Next up, we have a municipal order adjusting rules of conduct for the sports complex.
Municipal order number 41-25, municipal order adopting rules of conduct for individuals attending or participating at events at the Deaconess Henderson Sportsplex.
We have a motion to,
Remember, this is on this motion is, or this municipal order is on the table, so we need a motion off the table. You all tabled this.
oh, this motion she just read. Okay.
I move that we
Thank
pull this
you.
motion off for conduct.
Thank you,
at the
Commissioner.
sports complex.
We have a motion to move it off the table. Do we have a second?
Second.
Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye.
Sorry.
So it is read into the meeting. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate you catching that. Can we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. What kind of questions or comments or suggestions do we have from the commission? I think we've looked at this for a while. There were some concerns. Somebody wasn't here that day, and I can't remember who it was. Might have been Dylan, right? Yeah. Dylan was absent that day. Since then, I think we've all had a chance to speak with him about any questions we might have had. It looks pretty straightforward. I don't have any questions. If you all don't have any questions, we can move for a vote.
No, I think Dylan was able to answer questions I had that some people had asked of me. So.
Good deal. Dylan, do you want to explain a little bit about what we're looking at before we take a vote?
Yeah, so there's several rules. I don't have them directly in front of me, but the main purpose of these rules is just to establish a code of conduct. So if we ever do have any sort of issues out there, a lot of times, like some of our other sports facilities, we've had various issues where we've had to contact law enforcement or even things that don't rise to that level. But with the absence of rules of conduct, and especially with rules of conduct posted where people can see, you kind of have to lay out the expectations. And so that's essentially what we're doing. We're establishing expectations for the facility. So if everyone knows the expectations, if they're posted, we can then hold them accountable to those, and just make sure that everybody is following those rules, and there are things to make sure that everybody has an enjoyable experience. Some of the things are obvious, and some of the things are specific to the complex, but they're just a set of rules to make sure that everybody can go to the complex, enjoy the complex, and that we can keep it nice for the future.
And by the way, Dylan sent me a list of just the bookings for next year. I think we have close to 15 tournaments already booked for next year.
That's correct, yeah.
And growing very rapidly. And we just had, what was the one we just had last week? It was like the National Girls Fast Pitch Softball?
So it was a national tournament that was spread between Evansville, ourselves, and Owensboro, and we hosted all the 11 and 12-year-old teams at our complex. So, and it was all during the week. I mean, I was out there one weekday last week, and they were already out there at 8 a.m. playing. So.
Awesome.
Good deal. Good deal. So I think we do have a motion and a second. And are there any additional comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Commissioner Hargis. Aye. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. City Manager's report.
We just have one thing on tonight's agenda, and I'm going to ask Assistant City Manager Buzzy Newman to come up and talk about the Peabody Building HVAC, and this relates back to what what you all just approved in regards to expanding our uses under the bond proceeds.
I'm asking two gentlemen to come to the podium as well, because I feel like we need to give you the big picture of what's going on. First of all, I want to introduce Wes Height. He's our facilities maintenance superintendent. There he is. And we have local Henderson resident Jess Park is with Hafer and Associate. He is the lead mechanical designer for the project. But let me give you a little background first, and then I'm going to we'll tag team this conversation. Back many months ago, we were experiencing problems with our chiller that serves the cooling system for our side of the Peabody structure. Wes, do you mind just give an overview of what happened? And then let's talk about what we've done during the interim to try to keep the building cool, and then we'll turn it over eventually to Jess to talk about the design.
Okay. So it all started with the compressor going out in AC2, which takes care of the second floor of the building. First floor and ground floor and first floor are taken care of by AC1, which was still running. But then we had another issue. We had a pump go out, and it's not taking care of the building now. So we've put into play a new pump. We've got it running, and then we put in a temporary unit for the second floor, and it's still not doing what it needs to do, but it's operational.
So with that being said, early on, we knew this day was coming with the chiller, and we started, as y'all are aware, we came to y'all and asked to hire Hafer to help start looking at the equipment side of the building. And so it all sort of fell apart at a time in which they had gotten started with the design work. So how this would work is that we hire Hafer to go in and look at the existing equipment, look at how the building functions, and come up with a plan to replace the equipment in the building. Then the second thing that happened through work with Wes is that we have a national buying group called Sourcewell that enables us to entertain conversations with vendors who can provide the equipment and necessary installation for a project like this. So the vendor, we began that whole conversation in conjunction with Hafer. And so as you're aware, we have two phases of this. One is strictly the equipment that's in the mechanical room, and the second phase has to do with the work above the ceiling on each of the floors in the Peabody building. So where we ended up is we got our pricing back from the vendor. And so, needless to say, the cost of the project far exceeded what any of us anticipated. So with that being said, what we're here today is to give you an update. The one thing that's driving a lot of this project is the lead time to buy a new chiller. And 6 to 8 months is what it will take. And if you add the arithmetic, if we ordered it tomorrow, it would be February or March of 26 that we'd get it. So we're going to miss the cooling cycle this year to get it repaired. The other thing I will say to you, I would ask Jess now to sort of explain what that system in general, in layman's terms, what we're doing.
Okay, that's gonna be the hard part.
Now, we'll keep it simple. Take your engineer hat off.
I'll try. So, in general, this equipment, I think, was installed in, was it 1989?
86.
86. So it's almost 40 years old at this point. So it was really a matter of time before it failed. So what you have is 2 units that serve the whole building, and those have compressors in the unit, and then that is served by a cooling tower which just circulates water outside to reject the heat. So the new system is going to use what's called an air-cooled chiller, and that will sit outside and then circulate water through the units inside the building. So the air handlers, being 40 years old, obviously need to be replaced, and that chill water system is one of the more efficient options we can go with at this point. And controllability for the temperature control is top notch also. So that's kind of how we landed with the air-cooled chiller as the solution for that. I guess another challenge with this system, or with the setup currently, is this is currently an occupied building. I don't know if you have vacated fully yet, or...
No.
No.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, so that's one of the other challenges, is they're trying to do all this quickly to limit the downtime, to keep the building conditioned as much as possible. And then as you go through the building, you know, that equipment's also 40 years old. It uses pneumatic controls, which uses an air compressor in the mechanical room to actuate the temperature in the space. So we would go through and upgrade all that with modern electric controls as part of this process too. So
You want to talk a little bit about the heat, how it works?
So right now, the units in the mechanical room provide 55-degree air, so you have to reheat that in the space. So right now, all your heating is done within the space through fan-powered VAV boxes, is what they are, that have electric coils in them. So through that process, we would upgrade all those with new electric heaters, and that would be your primary source of heat throughout the space also. And going back to the gas boilers, is that what you're referring to? Okay.
Yes.
So currently, those air handlers in the mechanical room have, I think, 75 kW electric heat.
Yes, 170.
So that's a very large electrical load, which when those kick on, you get a demand charge associated with that. So to help with that, we're going back with natural gas fired boilers, and the natural gas is a more efficient way to heat air. So that's a big energy savings potential there with the gas fired boilers.
So any questions of these two gentlemen so far? Okay, so when all this came down and when we had the hottest weather of the summer, we gave an opportunity to relocate staff from the Peabody building, okay? And so luckily, we had the former HMP&L building at 5th and Water that has numerous offices in it. So as of today, the codes department chose to relocate, as well as a couple administrative people within the police department. For the rest of the building, the hardcore guys sitting in the back have weathered the storm. And they thought staying there would better serve their operation than relocating. So they had that opportunity. The other people that are there is Jordan Webb with her 911. They are actually served by a different system, and as far as I know, there's not been any problems. So, Planning Commission's here. We gave them the opportunity, but they too chose to stay put for a while. And the one thing I will say that's probably, once we get through the cooling system, if they choose to move back, they can, because we will have heat. We just do not have cooling. So that's sort of the story of what we're facing. I can tell you this was not on the radar screen in our capital planning. It happened. But while I have the opportunity, that's not the only 40-year-old building that we have. The one we sit in has similar problems that will sooner or later going to have to be addressed. And we've learned one thing is we have to react when we have situations like this, and I want to pay special recognition to facilities for helping. IT helped relocate staff to the old Hempel building. We had other people help with the logistics side. So, you know, we've managed, but there's got to be a solution to the problem. And that's what we bring before you today. And I'm not asking for any recommendations today. However, we're sort of at the end of the road where we need to make a decision soon. And what I would propose that we come back at our next meeting and give you an idea of what we need to do. So we just felt like it's been on social media, it's been on the news, but that's sort of where we are today.
You have preliminary estimates on that, what this may cost?
Phase 1 and Phase 2 could be in the neighborhood of $3.5 million. Very expensive.
What was our original budget on that?
Well, the original, when we started talking, we were thinking it was going to be around $1 million, but we think that we're going to have to take a different approach of how we do the acquisition of the labor and materials, not the chiller equipment, but how we approach the labor and installation.
And that $1 million was not throughout the building, right? That was just the source equipment?
It was.
Right.
But
yeah,
it
still
was
not the
the
same.
equipment and installation.
Right.
But anyway, but we will come back next week, probably under the city manager's report, and give an update of how we're going to handle this.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Not today.
All right.
Thank you.
Hate to end on such a somber note, but thank you for the report. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, we have need for executive session. We're going to leave the room and go to the second floor for just a bit. We will not be coming back with action. We will be coming back to adjourn the meeting and then heading into a work session immediately following. Do we have a motion for executive session?
I move the commission go into executive session pursuant to KR 61.810, paragraph 1, subsection C, for the purpose of proposed litigation against the city.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye? Aye. We will see you in just a bit. Thank you. Need a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
So we got a first for Commissioner Witt, second Commissioner Pruitt. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
You have a second?
Second?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. We're going to take